Hello and welcome to a very low fidelity video. So I thought it was about time that we caught up on a few charity shop CD finds. It is very true what they say that January is a great time to get out to the shops because this January has been good, but the January before that and the January before that were also very, very good for picking up albums in charity shops. So it just seems to be a great time of year, people checking things out. So quite a few stacks. So first up, we've got Joni Mitchell. I can't remember the name of this album. What was it called? The Hissing Sound of Summer Lawns. When I bought this in the shop, the guy was saying that this was like a really good sweet spot in her catalogue. Kind of between the early Joni Mitchell sound and the later, more jazzy sound. I've not really listened, so I have no idea. He could be talking complete bollocks for all I know. Next up, I picked up a couple of lovely Talk CDs. Oh, dropping it. We have Spirit of Eden. I do own this album on vinyl, but I couldn't resist the allure of an original CD pressing, and the artwork does look really nice. Lovely album. And also the very best of Talk Natural History, which is all the singles up until that album that I just showed. This has got a song on there called My Foolish Friend, which I had never heard before because it's not on any of their albums. It was a one-off single, so this is the only album that is a part of. I think Mark Hollis was not very happy about them releasing that compilation. He thought it was a bit of a cash grab at the time. I was quite happy with this one. The Blue Room EP by Coldplay. This is what they released before their first album, Parachutes. Kind of before they became a massive band, really. It's just a little EP, 5 tracks. Contains a couple of earlier versions of songs that would end up on the Parachutes album. Most notably, Don't Panic, which is probably one of my favourite Coldplay songs. I just think it's beautiful and just so relaxing. This contains like a more sort of dreamy, shoegazy kind of loose version of that song. So it's nice to have. So next up, quite exciting. I found a bunch of Goth finds, some really, really good Goth finds. A bunch of albums by Susie and the Banshees. So we have, this is her debut album, The Scream. I listened to this, I thought it was okay. This is a 2-disc version of the album, but not their best album, I don't think. But I then listened to this album a few days later, Kaleidoscope, and I thought it was a huge improvement. I think this was their third album from 1980. Thought it was much better. And I haven't listened to this yet, but I think this one's meant to be even better than that. Juju, the classic album from 81, I think it is. I think it was the 4th album. It's got the song Halloween, which I love. And then another one which I haven't listened to is this album, which comes as like a digipack, and this had Robert Smith on it. I don't know how good it is, but I've not ever heard it. Next up, a couple of albums by Cabaret Voltaire. A couple of best of albums covering different years. So this one's from 78 to 82, and this one's from 83 to 87. I only bought these because the name... I recognise the name because they're mentioned a lot on the podcast The Album Years with Stephen Wilson, and they go on about how great they are, so I bought them on the strength of that. Found a few Cocteau Twins albums. I've already got 3 Cocteau Twins albums, and I found 3 more altogether. So we have this one, which is a compilation comprising of 2 EPs that they did, released in the early 80s, no barcode on there. I really like these early 4AD CDs. And also this one from 1993, I think it's meant to be quite a good album. Not heard it yet. And also their debut album. This is nice. I think it's an original CD version from when they were first pressed on CD. It's quite nice because it's got the album and it's also got some John Peel sessions on there in addition to the original album. I don't know if they quite found their sound on that first record. It wasn't until their 3rd album, I think Treasure, where they really started to, get their sound. Really happy with this one. Echo and the Bunnymen, Ocean Rain. Classic album, everyone knows it. The Killing Moon is on this album. But I was not only happy to find this, having never found it in a charity shop before, but even more happy to find it because it's a Target CD, which are quite collectible. Ones with the classic Target on there from the mid-80s. Really happy to find it for such a great album. I've got another Target CD to show as well, but yeah, for that in particular, I was just so impressed with finding that. Of course, that one's got no barcode on it either. You know, really early CD press. Can't remember if I showed this or not because I did get it about a month ago. But Band on the Run by Paul McCartney and Wings, of course. This must be a really early CD pressing because it's got that old EMI logo on there, and it's not got a barcode, so it must be quite an old one. Here's one I was really happy with. Metallica, Ride the Lightning. I was in Oxfam Books and Music, which is one of my favourite places to shop for CDs. They always seem to have something good. And I was just looking through, and this really, really nice lady working there came up to me, and she was like, "Oh, what music do you like?" And I just said, "Oh, 70s rock and things like that." And she went ahead and looked for some CDs for me out the back, which was really kind of her. And ideally I would have liked to have actually gone out the back and had a look through and all that kind of stuff, but unfortunately it's not always allowed or appropriate to go back there, especially when there's a lot of people working, of course. So she came back with a big stack of them, and unfortunately a lot of the stuff was trash. There was some good stuff, but one thing that I was really happy with was Ride the Lightning by Metallica, because this CD can go for like £8 online, and it was just 99 pence. So yeah, I'm slowly building the Metallica collection. I got Kill 'Em All the other week from a CD from a charity shop just across the road, and I've got the Black Album as well, so really just gradually expanding that collection. I picked up a copy of Dummy by Portishead. I already have this on vinyl, but I wanted to kind of compare my vinyl copy to the CD. Next up, I found a couple of CDs similar to the Cocteau Twins. A couple of CDs by the classic 4AD band Dead Can't Dance. This was their debut record, very similar to the Cocteau Twins, like they hadn't quite found their sound on the debut. This is sort of like a gothic mishmash of like The Cure and Joy Division and things like that. But original 4AD CD, and similarly to the Cocteau one, you get the album and then you get a nice bonus EP, I think, which was just released around the time of the first album. So this is like a really nice expanded version of the album. Nice to have, although not their best work. But I did also find at the same shop the album, what is it, Spleen and Ideal? And I think this is when they were really coming into their own in terms of sound and style. Another old school 4AD CD on there. Nice marbled effect. No barcode. I found a couple of CDs by Muse, and these were two albums which were like a big part of my childhood. This album I did have on vinyl up until very recently, but I sold it to my brother because I didn't think it was the best album to listen to on vinyl. Not the best sound. I think the original CD actually does sound a lot better. So I sold it to him. And the album Resistance, and I absolutely loved this album when it came out. Absolutely loved it around that time, 2009 or 10. And this is a nice version of it, a nice flip out CD version where you get the CD and a nice booklet, and also a DVD containing a documentary of them actually making the album. So excellent thing to own for sure. Next up, I picked up some New Order, the best of New Order. I remember my mum having this CD when I was a kid. I remember she had it on cassette in one of our old cars about 20 years ago. A bit of electronica with The Man Machine by Kraftwerk. I recently got this on vinyl as well. Legendary album, of course. An album by The Cult. One of their classic albums. I think it's just called Love. Oh, and another Joy Division. Another New Order one, Substance, which I've got on order on vinyl. I've got the vinyl coming, the reissue. We have an album by Mazzy Star. Absolutely love the artwork on that one. And I've got another one, her more popular album, to show as well. A bit of Jimi Hendrix with the Smash Hits album. Very appealing cover. Always really like that cover. This must be an early CD version of it, I suppose. A lot of good tracks on there. My brother was surprised at some of the choices for tracks on that album. But yeah, a very nice find. Not sure if I'll keep this one, but this is Boy George with Jesus Loves You. I basically bought it because I like the album cover. It kind of reminds me of something out of like the Holy Mountain, the movie, or something like that. Here's another Target CD, but unfortunately nowhere near as exciting as the Echo and the Bunnymen one. This is Foreigner with one of their albums. Honestly, I think this is a bit of a mediocre album, apart from obviously the big hit I Want to Know What Love Is. But I had to buy it because of the fact that it's a Target CD, and I like collecting them so much. If it wasn't for that, I doubt I would have bought this really, or would keep it. You know, just love those Target CDs. We got a B-sides compilation by the Deftones. I think I need to listen to some of their other albums before I listen to this, because I'm not really acquainted with the band. And this is obviously just, you know, what hit the cutting room floor. So I probably got to acquaint myself with their more mainstream stuff. Here we have a CD by the Divine Comedy. I've not listened to it yet, but it's meant to be quite a good one. Quite a big fan. That's that other Mazzy Star album. I can't even remember if I showed this one or not, but Flaming Pie by Paul McCartney. I may have already showed this, I can't remember, but a nice charity shop find all the same. Next up we have Chapter 1, Television, the Drug That Killed the Nation. I have no idea how good this is. I bought it because the cover is cool. We have the Alan Parsons Project with one of their albums. Was really happy to find this. What's this album called? Tales of Mystery and Imagination, Edgar Allan Poe. Really nice 80s CD pressing, I should think. Yeah, really nice. Got a few of their albums on vinyl. From that Oxfam, where I got the Metallica CD, that woman brought out some Neil Young CDs. Some of them were pretty trashed, unfortunately, but some of them were in really nice shape. And this one, Harvest, I've been after for a long time. Classic album, absolute classic album. Wanted it for a while. Finally got it, 99 pence. And also this album, which is called Comes a Time. I believe that one's from the late 70s. I think someone paid $10.99 for that at some point in time. So here's one I was so impressed with. I'm loving this one at the moment. I'll have to cover it in a recent Spins video. Bill Nelson with The Best of Bill Nelson. It has 2 discs on there. One of them is like some of the hits he had in the early 80s with the whole kind of new wave sound that he was kind of a part of. You know, he had left the band Bebop Deluxe, and he just did some really interesting singles. I think he played all the instruments himself. And disc 2 is some of the more experimental instrumental stuff that he did. So there's some really odd stuff on there. I've only listened to disc 2 once, but yeah, this is a nice fat box edition. It's one of my favourite finds for a long time, actually. This is really, really loving it. And yeah, the other disc's got like a similar design, but slightly different colour. I'll have to cover that properly. So finally, we have 3 albums from the 2010s. We have Conor Moccasin with Forever Dolphin Love. Really enjoying this at the moment. I listened to this a lot in December. I'm going to have to cover it in a recent Spins video. Really liking it. And then I can't read the artist name on this. Is it Alison Van Etten? Something like that? Might have got that totally wrong, but I googled the album and a lot of people were saying it was a really good one, so I just bought it because of that. And finally, Villagers with Becoming a Jackal. Again, saw it in Oxfam Books and Music. It was 99 pence. I listened to a couple of tracks on my phone, enjoyed them, and just bought it because of that. So thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you very soon. Bye bye.